Hey everybody, it's been a while, so thanks for tuning back in. There goes my focus. Right, yeah, I'm back. It was too cold to do any updates over Christmas, and it's been very cold January, February, so it was too cold to come in here. I mean, I got a little crappy heater in the garage, but apart from that, it got pretty freezing. I came in here every now and then and turned the power on and just made sure the track was not too cold, because I know big fluctuations in temperature are not good, so did that. But layout wise, I couldn't make much progress until recently when the weather got better. So still not loads of things, but I've started working on the yard. So I cleared up some of the mess and got all the cork down for the yard, and now just trying to work out dimensions and the size of it and where everything will fit. So yeah, just mapping all that out and trying to work out how it'll go. Wired and nailed down the corner sections, so they're now there's cork all out there till halfway point, and it's all being powered and everything like that. So it's nearly a full loop. Everything on the front section for the main line is done. Everything, apart from, yeah, that doesn't count. So it's just sidings left and the back, but the back's pretty much done. It's just getting an idea on the fiddle yard and how many lanes I'm doing, but I've already got the track, so that's relatively small. It's just going around and now doing the big job of wiring all the flexi track and putting it in place, but I've already done all that. I've just taken it all out again so I can get it all soldered. So it's all the tedious stuff, but on a positive note, now that I've been doing all that tedious stuff, there's going to be some big things coming. So when I say about that, I've wired up my bus wire, I've made my junction box, and I've actually pretty much done all the droppers for the whole front of the layout bar two. I think that siding over there is not linked up yet, and probably two at the back corner that I need to put in, but apart from that, all of it. So I'll try and show you under there if it's not too dark. There you go, look. So you've got your central bus wire going all the way along, and all the droppers are now linked up across the whole thing, across all boards. The way it works is my power connection, which is only temporary still, it's going into my old DCC box. There it is. It comes in through the front of the junction box. I think I've shown you the junction box before, but it pretty much comes out, hits the first two pegs, and then splits off to the other two pegs. But it has to split off in like opposite, so that so you get a blue and a black, two blues and two blacks, sorry. I mean, two negatives, two positives, two reds, two blacks. There's something wrong with my speech. Sorry about that. So when it all links out, the two at the back, you've got two red, two black, and you've got one from each side. Oh, you got a bit. So you've got one coming from each side. So it comes out into a star section, two at the back, one to each corner, and two at the front, one to each corner. The reason why is, I think I explained it a long time in a video further back, but I read something on DCC, a book on DCC, and it actually said that if you have DCC Sound, you'd be better off making a star, because it would mean that the bus wire is, every leg of the bus wire is always the same length. So any signal you send under a function will carry the same. There'll be no delay, because it's exactly the same distance, exactly the same time for a signal to get to each part of the layout, because every single bus wire is 30 centimeters that I did, and every single dropper is 30 centimeters, and every single bus wire is 85, I think, or whatever I made it in the end. So every bus wire is the same length. It goes out to each corner of the layout, and every dropper to the bus is the same length. So there is exactly the same distance for every signal to every bit of track, no matter where it is. And if you're doing sound, you want the function and the sound that you press to happen without any delay, and you don't. So like if it got to the back of the layout, there wouldn't be a delay between the functions, because there's exactly the same distance to the back of the layout than there is the front. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not going to speak any more on that, because it probably bores the hell out of the rest of you, and I don't want to lose subscribers. So yeah, that's all done, as you can see. So the only thing now is to pretty much go DCC, and I have, and it's on its way. And I've got two Class 37 rail freight DCC Sounds coming, and a Prodigy Advance 2 starter set, all coming. got some deals for buying it all at the same time, so it's all good. And yeah, the next update's going to be big, but it also means this is going to be our farewell for the Flying Scotsman, because he's going to have to go into storage until I bother to DCC him, because I want to make him DCC Sound, and I want to send him off to one of those companies, probably the Model Centre, that will do that for you, and like DCC Sound it all up, and you know, fit some crews and stuff to it, and firebox, and just make it an awesome, amazing Flying Scotsman to match the rest of my layout. I don't want to have a non-sound locomotive and the rest are all sound, so he won't work until I put a chip in him. So as a present before he goes, I bought his carriages. Now, some of you are going to tell me off, some of you are going to go, I don't care, but yeah, these aren't the right coaches. They are GWR Hawksworth, but they're in BR maroon livery. They were on the GWR main line. They were made by Mr. Hawksworth, who was the chief engineer for GWR. And when everything became BR, they did go into circulation and start being seen all over the place, because when everything became British Railways, everyone swapped each other's stock. So there is a way they could have been used. But my main reason is they are amazing looking coaches. I saw one and I knew that these would complement my Flying Scotsman really well, even if they weren't the right ones. They are the only ones I can see that have got such amazing detailing at the moment. They are the most newest coaches I've seen, apart from the lit coaches, for the in-city lit coaches that are out now. They've got sprung buffers, amazing detailing. The third class carriage has got red seats in it, red upholstery. The first class carriage has got blue upholstery. The one that's got first and third has got red and blue next to each other, as you can see. Like, they are really, really good coaches. Like, really well detailed, amazingly detailed. I'll probably put people in them maybe, just to make it go. There's curtains in the windows. Right, and so the other thing is, they also have really long corridor sections, which you can see. And they come with the clips, so the corridors touch. So no people mucking about with paper, making concertinaed fake corridors and stuff like that. These coaches actually couple up so that they touch corridor to corridor. And the Flying Scotsman was a corridor locomotive because of the tender. But I think the one I've got is not. That's annoying. Okay, I'll shut up now. It was a corridor tender, but the one I've got is not. But anyway, it would just look so much better than having, you know, some not very well detailed teaks. And yeah. They look awesome. I also researched when I rode on the Flying Scotsman in 1994, wherever it was. I rode on him at the Nene Valley Railway before he went and disappeared in his 60103 livery, or guise, what you want to call it. And I just thought he looked amazing, and that's why I got him. But Nene Valley have also got some preserved Hawksworths. So if I was going to run a Flying Scotsman preserved locomotive on my layout, they'd probably, you know, borrow some coaches from the Nene Valley Preserve Railway, or Heritage Railway, whatever you call them these days, and run it with that. So there is some way that this could still be prototypical, because they still could have... yeah, so my memory just filled up, so sorry about that. But yeah, being a phone as well, that's always a problem. But yeah, so yeah, they would have called up Nene Valley and gone, can we borrow some coaches? We've got the Flying Scotsman coming down. So there is ways it can still work. I need to take the polystyrene out of the corridors, because that keeps the shape of them, but it comes with little door blanks and glazed doors to put in. So you've got a door blank or a glazed door, depending on what you want to put on what end. So yeah, that's pretty chuffed. And before the stuff comes, I'm going to finish this video off with a lovely little scene of the Flying Scotsman reversing back onto its new coaches and pulling away from the station. Thought it'd be a nice way to finish it off and start the new year and the new updates. And as you've probably seen, I forgot to say, I've got some new lights in. I've started putting the other side in, so they're in, and I've also got a yard light that I've just temporarily tested to make sure it works, and it's so bright, it's awesome. So I'm happy with that. And without further ado, enjoy the little clip at the end, and I'll see you for the next update in May, when we're going to be at DCC Sound, and it's going to be bloody wicked. Well, I've got to hope it works first. Bye.